people realize women in this country can do any job that they want to do.
She proved it. Done.
If more little girls grew up with an interest in science like we did, the world would be a better place.
Space changed for all time when Sally went up.
I really dreamed of getting a chance to go into space. And unbelievably, that dream came true.
Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Hi, Tam. Hi, Christina. Good to have you both here today to talk about Sally. So, wonderful documentary. I loved it. So, congratulations.
Great to hear. Thank you.
Well, I got to admit, I'm Generation X, so I've always had a little crush on Sally Ride when I was in high school, So, I always got her and Judy Resnick mixed up because everyone back in the 80s had the same big, puffy black hair. So when I see them all lined up, I'm like, oh my gosh, they all look so identical back then with the same hair. So, but I've always been a great admirer of Sally Ride because I was a NASA kid and, all of that. So this is just so exciting to have her whole story. And, Christina, where does Sally Ride belong? Where's her place in history? She has so many accomplishments.
Yeah, I mean, Sally was my hero as a kid, and like many women, I think we looked up to her and saw if a woman could do something so big and brave and something that women weren't supposed to be able to do at the time, maybe we can do big things too. And Sally is an incredible, Sally was only an astronaut for 9 years, so we remember her as an astronaut, but she was an incredible brain, an incredible astronaut. She was a physicist, and that's what she was most proud of, arguably. But I also want people to remember her as a full person, as somebody who had this beautiful love story with Miss Tam O'Shaughnessy.
Well, Tam, you knew Dr. Ride better than anyone. Now we have her complete story. It's eager to tell the personal side of her life because also she was a hero in so many different ways, wasn't she?
Yes, yeah. I think that everything that Sally did, she was kind of ahead of her time. And even playing tennis, playing tennis as a young girl, girls weren't supposed to like sports. They weren't supposed to like science, but we did. Anyway.
And Christina, presenting Dr. Ride's personal life, this is a balanced story, but you had to gain the trust, didn't you? You're telling, you're not just telling a documentary footage of space launches. You're talking about the other side. So tell me about gaining Tam's trust and had that responsibility of telling her the other side.
Well, I feel so lucky that I got to be a part of this film because it's an incredible story, but also because it meant the last almost 3 years of my life, I was hanging out with the people who are closest to Sally, who are all really cool people and all really cool women. And the coolest is Tam, who we have with us here. And it was, a joy. I think we clicked. We both, we both share a love for Sally, certainly, but I think there's something deeper than that. We got along and we both have a sense of humor and we like having fun. I think Tam was really, ready to go to a vulnerable spot, and I think that's really what makes the film special is that that Tam has really shared with us a complete version of who Sally was, and not just the version that we knew while she was alive. And so I hope a complex portrait of this hero will go farther than the kind of one-dimensional version that maybe some of us knew when we were kids or when we were younger.
And Tam, most people would ask you, what's your favorite memory of Sally Ride? It always space related or something adventurous. But for you, what was one of your favorite moments with Sally? Was it a vacation? Was it a dinner? Was it just something that sticks out that's really that means a lot to you?
So many. But the two that are coming to mind right now are one, Sally went to school at Stanford, and Stanford has a beautiful campus, and there are hills behind the campus that are part of Stanford's, they've got like an ecological reserve, and it's just beautiful up there. And Sally and I would go there on vacation sometimes and just, like go to the bookstore, see friends in San Francisco, and run the hills. And what we'd do is we'd go through, you have to cross this road and there's cows up there and all this sort of stuff, cow guards. And then we'd take separate paths and try to beat each other to the top of the hill. And it was just so much fun. And Sally usually, she usually won because she was just a faster runner than me, and I don't know, probably fitter or whatever. But it was a blast. And then the other memory is we took a trip to Australia, and we had a blast. And it was actually a trip that was part work, because Australia was having I think a science month. And so Sally was giving some talks, and we were talking about our science education company, but we had so much fun.
Oh,
So
that's beautiful. I love that, Tim. I love that. And Christina, research footage, photos. I mean, you just had a treasure trove of material, interviews as well. Were you greeted with open arms? Was it easy to access everything?
NASA was a little bit of a mess, like a little bit difficult to access everything, but in the end, we got so much. It took we were on posts on this film for over a year, but we got 5,000 reels of footage, and had to sound sync all of it. So it ended up being our biggest problem was we had so much great footage that we had to search through. So that was one of the hardest parts of the film, and but it ended up being being a real team effort. We had an incredible archival team, editors, archival producers, all kinds of people who sorted through all of this footage with me. So I love it. It's like 70 millimeter, 35 millimeter, 16 millimeter. It's a for someone
Everything.
film stock. It's a beautiful kind of archive of footage.
And Tam, her legacy, I mean, talk about her inspiration to the next generation. I mean, she has the Sally Ride Science Academy. I didn't even know that. So, I mean, she's still influencing the next generations, isn't she?
yeah, we started our science education company in 2001, and it's called Sally Ride Science, and we're now at UC San Diego. So we're a nonprofit now instead of a for-profit company. We've been there since 2015. But her name is sort of like magic. Kids are interested, and I think it helps motivate them and inspire them in science and all areas of science. Um, and I think, I hope this film reaches, young people and people of all ages who know of Sally, but especially young people that don't know very much about Sally. And she lived her life exactly the way she wanted to, and was always true to herself. And that's a good message for young people. Yeah.
And Tam, I have to ask this. Do you have any memorabilia from her, like her flight suits or her helmets? Because I'm a big fan of the space program, and just to be able to see that stuff on display somewhere, or maybe in the Smithsonian or something like that. I mean, did she have a lot of things that you have left from her? I just love to see it.
Yeah, yeah. Sally was almost a hoarder. She had, I mean, she kept every driver's license, every tennis card ranking. Anyway, yeah, so I actually gave 98% of her belongings, flight suits, helmets, her essays from Stanford on Shakespeare. I mean, you name it. Her tennis racket, her microscope, to the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. So they have a bunch of it.
Wonderful.
Some of it's online, and then they have a new exhibit with stuff. So next time you're in DC, it's such a fun.
I
You probably go
I
there.
will.
Yeah.
They're the caretakers. I love it. And Christina, what just a wonderful accomplishment. I love the balance you did with, with history and the personal side. So congratulations to both you ladies. I appreciate your time today, and good luck with the series. And let's talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Great to meet you.